ready, Sarah? All right. Let's go ahead and call to order this City of Indio Sustainability Commission meeting for Monday, March 25th. It is 5:30 p.m. And in person, oh, you want to do roll call, Sarah?
Sure. Chair Chris,
Present.
Vice Chair Getka,
Present.
Commissioner Jimenez, absent. Commissioner Liu,
Present.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, if we could, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. We're at public comments. If anybody joining us has any public comments that are not on the agenda. Okay, moving right along. Ms. Sarah, you have a presentation for us.
Yes, we were going through the work plan, and we have a lot of things listed on the work plan, some that we have to do this year, but some listed as an important sustainability initiatives, and one of them has always been to create a buy local business program. It's one of those programs that really connects environmental and sustainability initiatives with the economy, which are often seen as conflicting. But certainly this one isn't. Buy local programs reduce carbon, energy usage. If you're buying local food, it tends to be healthier. Long supply chains tend to use a lot of resources. And so to talk about the Indio Buy Local program, we have Jessica Mediano, who is the Marketing and Public Information Officer for the City of Indio.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you, Sarah. So, as Sarah said, Jessica Mediano, Marketing and Public Information Officer, which is done through Open Rewards, was launched right at the beginning of the year, and this allows for any public-facing brick-and-mortar business within the City of Indio to participate at no extra effort for them. I do have some collateral pieces that are accessible for you. This smaller card is going to be what is handed out to every business so that they understand what the program is about and how they are already participating or can sign up. And then the bigger flyer is English and Spanish for residents and the community at large to kind of get a better understanding of this program. And what this does is everyone that shops local can download the app for free through either the Apple Store or Google Play, and then they submit their receipts through the app, and 5% goes cash back right back into them. This program is funded through the City of Indio Economic Development Department with the intention and goal of driving the community for local residents and business owners to, of course, shop local, but to also encourage anyone visiting to participate and shop local. I'm here to answer any questions you may have.
So this is already on our website, the city website, correct?
That's correct. So I can outline all of the advertising and outreach initiatives that we have been utilizing. This is currently on our website, as you had mentioned, being consistently promoted on social media. We have Spanish radio running, and then there are 2 billboards on the I-10. One is a permanent vinyl, and then it is on the digital board, which is at the I-10 Auto Mall, as well as some print media that has been placed. And currently, or to date, we have over 800 users of the program with a total economic impact of over $77,000.
Since when, do you know, Jessica?
This started in January.
So, 3 months.
Correct.
Nice, very nice.
Jessica, this sounds extremely generous. How long is this program going to last?
So this program, $12,500 was allocated towards this initiative with the intention that when that money, those monies do run out, that the Economic Development Department would evaluate and decide to put more into it. At this stage, the intention is to keep the program running based on the success of it so far.
Okay, all right, well, there is a cap, because I'm thinking, wow, this is
Yeah.
very generous, 5%.
Sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
That's great. Thank you. It's, good. Thanks, that's my question.
This is the first time we've implemented this program, correct?
Correct. It's the first program of its kind for the city of Indio.
Great. It looks good. Thank you for your work on this.
Okay, thank you so much.
I have
Thank-
one other question. In terms of, Sarah was mentioning the impact of this is on obviously things like air emissions, if you're not traveling as far to go and buy something, and things like greenhouse gases. When we are all said and done, are we gonna do anything to quantify those impacts, or just use a kind of a rough factor?
Yeah, that's something that our department can definitely meet with Sarah and see what are the best ways that we can look to quantify that data.
Yeah. There's some rough factors, like for example, for greenhouse gas emissions, you can use some very rough factors, which is probably what we want to do on a program like this. There's no point drilling all the way down. But it might be worthwhile trying to get the air quality management district might be able to help with some emission factors on, if this many dollars worth of goods, so, this is the resulting impact.
Absolutely,
That
we'll
would
look
be
into that
Good, great,
reporting.
thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you all.
All right, moving right along, can we take a look at the minutes from February?
I do have one observation on our commissioners who are present on February 26th. I think Commissioner Hernandez wasn't able to make it. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, just wanted to clarify that for the record.
Not unless my twin was here.
Otherwise, well, let you ask if there's any comments.
No, other than that, everything looks good. If nobody has a comment, I'm ready for a motion.
I'll go ahead and move that we accept the February 26 minutes.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Commissioner Liu? Aye, okay, sorry. Okay, 4-0. Work plan updates, Sarah?
I just have a few updates on the work plan. At the last meeting, it was brought up about when we might bring this back and start looking at again for next year. So this plan was approved by the City Council in October 2023. So it's about 5 months old. In the next, at the next meeting, we'll have IWA come and speak, and then during the May meeting, we won't meet because it's during a holiday. So I think during that time, I'll start looking into updating the pages that we put into this, because we don't just have the list of projects, but we wanted to keep kind of a running list of what we were doing for each project. So each project has a sheet that gets updated. And if I bring that back, if we take the time off in May, and then I thought I'd bring this back for discussion June, July, it'll be about 8 or 9 months into the plan or into the work plans at that point. So that's the first update. And then for the work plan updates themselves, being 5 months old, we've actually done quite a bit of work already. thanks to all of your work, we've had a lot of good speakers. We've had more speakers, such as the gas company, to talk about renewable energy. And the EV charging stations, although we haven't actually added any, we've done a lot of work on that. We've applied for grants. Maybe we didn't get them, but we put a lot of work into trying to get more funding for EV charging stations. We're still waiting to hear on the block grant to see what we can do with that. We developed the outreach program. We're holding the sustainability collection events, and there are more big bellies out in the city, so we've done increase the number of waste receptacles. And then the True Zero Waste Initiative for commercial waste, or for commercial facilities, we have released that RFP. We just did it last week, so it's brand new. And we're working with we're still working with or keeping in touch with the Green Building Council, so that when we're ready, they are still willing to work with us on some discounts for bulk, as far as getting facilities to have a true advisor on their staff, and for the cost to actually reach the certification. What we're going to be doing next is building the program. And as far as the work program or the work plan, this is probably what we're going to be focusing on. It's going to be quite a bit of work between figuring out, specific goals, how we're going to outreach it, what exactly will be the incentives to have businesses do this. We did find out that some of the 1383 grant funding, at least in the second round, can be used for trash enclosure systems, which we are asking commercial facilities to do now. So if they get certified, we may be able to help them put in the new enclosures that we need, at least support them somewhat. So we're going to be looking at that and the program implementation very soon. And then once we bring on our consultant, that's when we'll really try to hone in on the details of the program, and then we'll start doing the outreach. So that is where we are with the work program, the work plan updates. And then last is the outreach plan. And I did want to let you know that we did the updates to the website. They are complete. All the dead links are removed. There's new links to Burtec. It's been expanded a little bit. It's a lot easier to follow and to find things. The Clean California grant Clean California grant calendar that we talked about last time is on the website now, so you can download it. And also we had printouts of that calendar done for Food Truck Friday. They've been a big hit. We're out of them. We have to reorder them, so this Friday we'll have more. But as far as the 5-month-old plan, we're doing very well on the outreach plan as well. And these are the updates on that, where we've completed quite a bit of it. The True Zero Waste will be next. And at this time, that's all I have for the work plan and outreach plan updates.
Looks like things are coming along nicely, though, for only 5 months, right?
I agree.
Good progress there.
Question for you, Sarah. When we do the update, I guess it sounds like in fall or some time around there, we'll be, of course, removing the completed items and adding the new items. So when by your schedule that you gave there, when will we be adding new items, and do we need to revise? This is just a work plan. Do we need to revise the plan itself in order to update the work plan, do you think?
Well, for sure. I'll bring it back like June or July in that time period to really start these kinds of discussions.
Okay.
I think that we did the plan itself is about 2 years old, and things move pretty quick in sustainability, so we might want to look at updating it more than just progress or projects. Last year, all we did was kind of change projects around, but this year I think it might be a good idea at least to read it over. And also because all of you have brought a lot of information on your own and speakers and so forth, and so that we may need to, it might be time to update it.
Yeah.
But I will bring that back around June, July.
Thanks, Sarah, for your hard work. All right, Commissioner comments. Whoever would like to kick it off, fire away. Ladies first.
Commissioner Lee? Lou?
You're the brilliant one. We're smart. We let you go first.
I did it again. I keep turning that off, so sorry. Yeah, I have a complaint from a resident about truck idling. And there is a rule from the California Air Resources Board related to truck idling where you cannot, diesel trucks, they are allowed to idle in certain areas and unrestricted areas for more than 5 minutes if they have this Clean California sticker, a certain sticker. But if they don't have that sticker, they can't do the extended idling. But even if they do have the sticker, in restricted areas such as schools and churches, some other areas like that, they are not allowed to idle. And so this area that's been identified, I won't name it's outside of a retail store where the trucks gather and seem to idle. And there is also an exception on that. If you're loading, if the truck is being loaded, they are allowed to idle for more than the 5-minute period. So that incident will be referred to the South Coast Air Quality Management District so they can track it down, because it's there perpetual. We all see it when we drive around, and they can investigate that. And you'd have to ask the person, are you loading? Why are you idling? So it would require some conversation with those truck drivers. But just as a general reminder to the businesses and all of our delivery trucks, there are restrictions on idling, and there's a requirement for the sticker. I don't know if those trucks have the sticker. They're not near a school as far as I know, but I don't know if they have the sticker that allows them to idle in unrestricted areas. So just as a reminder, and anyone can find that information if they are interested. And that is my only update for today. Thank you. Go ahead, commissioners.
Thank you. Commissioner Jimenez?
Yes, I'll go ahead and chime in. I have some goodies to pass out, if you would pass that down. It was based on the last meeting that I attended when we were giving out the little receptacles. And he had stated that when collecting fats, oils, and grease, that there's little caps that the local sanitary district passes out for their FOG program, which is fats, oils, and grease program. And the way it works is you can get any can that you're going to dispose of, put it on the side of your stove, and when you're ready to dump the oil in, you dump it into the can. This convenient little cap goes right on top. And then when you're ready every week or every couple of weeks, you just throw the whole can out, keep the cap, wash it and stuff like that. So in contacting the local sanitary district, they were more than happy to give me some free giveaways. They got door hangers, they have pamphlets on the FOG program, little scrapers, pan scrapers, and little stickers to give away. And that kind of melded with way, that thing just keeps on getting better and better and improving. And I'm not talking just about the food in the trucks. It's the way that the city's operating it, which is melding really good compared to when I went 2 or 3 months ago. Met a nice young man named Jose that works for the city, and they're manning the booth, Jose and other people. I didn't get to meet the other person, but his name was Jose, and I met him a couple of times. Before I met him, I observed him, see how he interacted with the public, to see if he was getting our message across. Did an outstanding job in getting that message across. Made eye contact, shook hands firmly, had a smile on his face, spoke with everybody. Everybody's real curious to see what we're giving away and stuff. So I was I was just thinking that if you guys maybe wanted to contact the sanitary district to get more of these to give away at our Fridays, then maybe we could facilitate something like that. They're more than happy to connect. I don't know if that would mean, I don't think it would mean them staffing somebody to do that, because they were saying, well, why reinvent the wheel? You guys are already staffing it, but we'd be happy to kind of co-partner, give you guys stuff when you need it type of thing, and go from there. But I thought it would complement what we were doing as a city, and I think it would get our message across about that's what it's a grease. Anybody have any questions?
That's very good, very interesting. So you have contacts at VSD then, right? Is that where you used to work?
No, I used to work for Coachella Sanitary.
Okay, all right, I wasn't sure. But yeah, that's an interesting thought there you have.
It is, and then I have nothing else to add. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Vice Chair?
I wanted to follow up on Commissioner Liu's comments on the truck idling. I don't know all the regulations regarding 18-wheelers, but I know refrigerated trucks have to keep running if they're running a reefer to keep their product cool. That could be a simple case of that, I don't know, but I think they are given allowances to run or idle longer if they're unloading refrigerated milk, dairy products, or whatever it might be. So it could be a simple case of that, or maybe not. But, and again, I don't know all the regulations.
It could very well be. This is California Air Resources, and it's diesel truck and bus idling. And if that refrigerated vehicle has it's called a certified clean idle sticker, they can idle anywhere, I guess, in a non-restricted areas. But the restricted areas are schools, homes, hospitals, senior and child care facilities within 100 feet of the property line. And there's probably a citation here, a regulatory citation, but you can just Google. Anyone wanting better information or precise information can Google diesel truck and bus idling and California Air Resources Board, and you will see all of the nuances, because as I said, you can't, as pointed out, you can't just look at someone idling and say they're out of compliance, because you don't know if they have the sticker, you don't know if they're loading, are they in the zone or out of the zone. There are a couple of factors that need to be checked.
Okay, very good. Okay, I attended a public workshop early in March. It was put on by IID. It's not this slide right now. I'm going to address this topic first, and then I'll get to that. But I don't have any slides on this. But this was a public workshop. I think they hosted 3 in the last month and a half. And this was at the Senior Citizen Center over here in Indio, downtown Indio, or next door here. We had I guess there's about 29 people that came to the workshop. It was I think it was 3 in the afternoon or something like that. It was put on by Miss Montez and then Miss Vizquera. And eventually, I talked to them. They're going to probably come at some point and make a presentation. They had some updates on the average bill payment plan that they are now offering for customers. Basically, where you can take your 12-month total, average it out, divide by 12, and you get an average, and you can pay that average monthly payment instead of one big payment like in July or August, the heavy peak times. That way it's going to help people budget their budgets better for what they're going to spend on utilities and food and that type of thing. So it's a very helpful program for a lot of families, so they can help budget themselves better. And they also have this, they call it the REAP program, and this is all online. You can go, they have a really nice website, IID, you can go on and get all this information. But this is an assistance program for discounts based on your net income, and they have it based on number of people in the household. So it's a nice program for people who need a little extra help with their budgeting and their utility bills. The other thing I found, they just released this on 3/18. IID launched a new online portal for their energy customer service project proposals. So this is something that would be, you can go online now, they have it all set up. If you're a residential customer, you can go on there for if you have any new extensions, additions to your home or whatever, or new buildings, you can go on that and have specific information. Commercial, has a commercial site and an agricultural site. So you can go online and see that. And basically, it's another new program that's going to be helpful for IID customers. And the last thing I saw on IID's website was their green energy rate program. And again, this is another program that if you're willing to pay a few cents more for your kilowatts, but they're going to be using all green energy for your application or your usage, then that's a program you can sign up for also. And so it's another program that's available for people who are really conscientious about being sustainable and green. And it's a small sacrifice depending on what your utility bill would be. So that's another program that's also on their website. So, but this program here also on the workshop, it was nice, and they gave us a nice PowerPoint colored handout for everybody. And hopefully you'll have the PowerPoint when we have the folks here at some future point. But they also went over how to read your utility bill. A lot of people have questions on, okay, what is this charge for? What does this mean? And why are they charging me for this? So they kind of go through your whole bill and explain what they are, why they're there, so people have a better understanding what they're paying for when they get their monthly utility bill. So I thought that was a very helpful program. I think it lasted about an hour, and there were a lot of questions from people, so it was very helpful, I think, for the public. We'll get to my electric vehicle charger update. This is something I found on the California Energy Commission website. It's just kind of an update on how many EV chargers there are in the state of California. You can see by the graph there, Riverside County is what's listed as number 6, even though we are the 4th largest in population. We're only ranked 6th as far as number of fast chargers. And it's interesting because San Bernardino, which is number 5, they have 9% more fast chargers than Riverside, but they have 11% less population. So I thought that was kind of an interesting observation I made. Now, when you're talking about DC fast chargers, that's like your Tesla chargers, and those typically will charge your vehicle between 30 minutes to an hour. And fortunately, Riverside, again, has 579. Now, this is based on 2022 data, so it could have changed a little bit since then. And then down below, you see that level 2 chargers by county, and unfortunately, Riverside's not even listed on that. But those are the less efficient chargers. It'll take you approximately 1 to 2 hours to charge your vehicle if it's totally low on the battery power. So I think we're actually better off having more of the fast chargers than the level 2 chargers. That's just my opinion. And the other thing is they break it down on that chart with public and shared private chargers. So if you see the blue lines, those are public chargers. Those are at the public stations that you can pull up to, like a Walmart or over here in Indio Town Center, they have a whole bank of Tesla chargers you can pull up to that. Those are considered public. And then there's what they call shared private, and those are like City Hall has. They have a couple chargers out here in front, or you go to some companies, county buildings, and they might have chargers for their employees, that type of thing. So it's privately owned, but they're shared with the public. So that's kind of the breakdown. And you can see on level 2, there's a lot more of those shared chargers than there are private, or I'm sorry, more shared private than there are public chargers. So that's that slide. And have one more. I talked about that last time, was Drive Clean. So if anybody's looking to buy a EV car, it's a nice website to go. You can search any kind of vehicle and make comparisons as to their range, what kind of rebate incentives there are from the manufacturer, from the state, federal. So it's kind of a nice option to go to if you're in the market to shop for an EV car. And then I had one more slide, I think. And this, I saw this on one of my other websites. This is from California Electricity Commission. Just gives you a basic breakdown of where our electric generation is at this point. You can see this is from 2021, so it's a little bit dated, but it's the most current they have. So you can see natural gas accounts for some reason that number didn't go on there. It's about 49%, the big blue half circle there. So we're still getting a predominant amount of our fuel from, or our electrical power from natural gas. And the second one would be solar, so that's 17%. And then you can see nuclear is at 8.4, which is interesting. I didn't realize we were getting that much nuclear power. And then wind power is 7.9%, and then hydropower 7.2, geothermal 5.8, and so on. So it's just a kind of an update. So it's about 2 years old now as far as data, but they sometimes lag about a year or 2 years before they publish these numbers. But just thought that was interesting. I think you're actually going to see a little more of the natural gas going up in the next year or so, because they're actually expanding the natural gas availability until we get the electric grid built up more in the state of California. So, and I think that's all I have this evening. Any questions on any of that? Okay, thank you.
Excellent. My report includes some things that we discussed and went over at our last IAD, Economic Advisory Commission meeting. You may be aware that IID has partnered with Viking Energy Farm back in 2021, and they're expanding that solar farm by way of 2.5 times. It's a solar farm where IID operates it, and Viking Solar Farms does the installation and service of it. You know, now that power is becoming so expensive, even in IID, where IID customers used to enjoy quite a different rate than Edison, that's becoming a much narrower gap. I think it might benefit us, Sarah, to have someone talk about solar on residences in Indio, as they're starting to door knock again in Indio and starting to write contracts for solar here in Indio. I also wanted to make mention of the programs that IID has and how they've changed over the past year. A couple of the programs that IID has in place to help its customers, customer assistance programs of 2023, they have 3 of them. They have the Residential Energy Assistance Program, which lowers your rate on a monthly basis. The Emergency Energy Assistance Program, which is if you're in an emergency, can't pay a bill, it would assist you with that. And of course, the medical equipment energy usage. If you have medical equipment that depends on electricity, special needs, children or spouse or family member. Each of those programs really blitzed public knowledge of it and reaching milestones. So for the first time, they reached their milestone of 12,000 customers enrolled. The Residential Energy Assistance Program to lower rates on a monthly basis, last year was 68% funded, this year was 92%. The emergency fund was 57% funded. When I say funded, I mean taken advantage of. People that actually took advantage of it from the budget that was set aside. This year was 93%, And the medical equipment was 45% funded to take advantage of last year and 92% this year. So they're almost hitting their budget, set aside allowances for each of those programs from about half of that last year, which is very, very encouraging. I think a lot of people have learned that these programs are available to them. And that concludes my report.
I have one item that I'd like to ask about, and this goes back to the our work plan in preparation for that, because time always runs out before you know it. And this is greenhouse gases. Do we have a greenhouse gas inventory for the city of Indio? Have you ever seen? Has anyone ever seen one?
Yes, we did one for the city of Indio in 2010. We updated it in 2016, and that's the last time that we have done a greenhouse gas inventory.
Okay. I think with growth, hopes of growth being maybe as it is, even given our current status, it would be really nice if we could update that. I'm sure, you know, if I'm sure that no one would disagree with that. It's just about the time and the money, of course. And of course, in terms of funding, the easiest way, well, maybe not the easiest way, but one path towards that is all of these grants that are available to help cities and achieve those kinds of projects. So I don't know about timing, if we would be able to apply for a grant in a time fast enough to get the money to update one before we do our next plan update, but that would be great if we could. So just throwing that out there as a suggestion, because
It's a very good suggestion.
Yeah.
It takes time to do those.
Yeah.
So I getting it done by the time we start talking about the next one is probably pretty unlikely. But it
Yes.
could be a project we
But
can
then-
look at to put on the plan for next year.
For the next year, for 2025 or 2026. I think even 2025, 2026 is, not too,
Yeah,
Too
and
out
you know,
there.
it would probably be 2022, 2023 data, because the data is always a little bit behind, just like,
lagging, yeah.
which would put it right about where it needs to be, about every 5 or 6 years doing
Yeah.
a second one. So that would be
Yeah.
about the same timing from 2010 to 2016 to 2022, 2023.
Yeah. Just a thought, or, I don't know if there's money in the budget if we don't wanna go for a grant, because grants are iffy. You might apply and might not get anything, I don't know. So, that's my comment.
I know CVAG is doing some work.
Really?
And I'm not entirely sure what their project is or how specific it is meant to be, but they are doing some greenhouse gas inventory updates. They were the ones that ultimately did the 2010s. We did the 2016 in-house here. But if CVAG is, I'll find out what they're doing more specifically.
Nice. Okay. Thank you.
I do have some questions for Commissioner Chris here on his IID report. I'm just curious, you mentioned the expansion of the solar farm or their network. Do you know where that's going to be at? Is it part of the valley? Where is that located? Any idea?
It's on the outskirts of Thermal.
On the south side of Highway 10 or north side?
On the north side.
North side.
Yeah.
I think I've seen a big solar farm
Yeah.
heading out east.
You got to kind of look in the distance, but it's there. But they're going 250% of what they have built there now, which is pretty aggressive. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other question, I think they're getting some wind power, but I'm not sure how much. I don't think it's a lot.
No, it's very minimal. It's very negligible.
Do you know if that's from the northern wind farms up here in the valley?
I do not, but I'll find out.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
One of my plans for next month, I'm trying to take a tour on a wind farm up in the north valley here. There's 2 companies that provide tours. I've reached out to both of them. Haven't heard anything yet, so maybe it's kind of hit and miss with those folks. But they do offer an hour tour for a small charge. I'm just probably going to go up there sometime and just educate myself a little more workings of the turbines and
Yeah.
maintenance, and I'll give a report once I get a chance to actually tour one.
Was one of them Wintech?
You know, there's two of them that I looked at. I can't recall exactly.
If not, try Wintech, and if not, the owner is a client of mine, so I can
Oh,
get you over there.
He's with Wintech?
Wintech, yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah.
Yep.
All right, and that's all I have.
All right, moving right along on this busy agenda. Sorry, I'm on the ID one, there we go. Sarah, do we have any staff items that we need to consider?
There are no staff items.
Okay. Our next Sustainability Commission meeting is April 22nd in this very room at 5:30 PM. If there's no other comments or needs, I'm ready for a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
And I make 4. Good evening.
Good afternoon, thank you.
Short and sweet. Maybe not a record, but that was pretty close.
6, pretty close.